Saul Marquez here with the Outcomes Rocket, and today I have the privilege of being with Harald Steltzer with NoMo Diagnostics at the MedTech Innovator pitch. He just got out of his pitch. Things went really well, and I'm glad to be catching him right now. Harald, tell us a little bit about you, a little bit about the company, and how you guys are adding value to the healthcare ecosystem.
You got it. I've spent 25 years in the life sciences and bringing new products to market. I became passionate about this project that came out of Columbia University, largely because it's solving a huge unmet need. We're actually monitoring brain health when and where injury takes place on athletic fields and also military fields by having an embedded sensor system that can get into helmets and headgear.
So is this technology something that is incorporated in everybody's helmet, or is it something incorporated into somebody's helmet that's already had an injury?
It's a great question. So what we're looking to do is we consider anybody that's wearing a helmet, a headgear, or finds himself in harm's way of some kind. This can be sports, it can be military, and we're having more discussions on how to incorporate it into industrial safety, hard hat workers essentially. And so anybody that's wearing a helmet that may be moving faster than their feet allow, that's going to be the type of situation that we want to find the technology in. And it's really, it can be plugged in and out of helmets. We view ourselves as an accessory to helmets.
Fantastic. And who's interested in applying these types of technologies? You know, when you think about healthcare, it really tends to be reactive, right? And so your device seems to be proactive, getting ahead of it, or maybe I'm not understanding it correctly.
Very insightful question. That's exactly what we're doing. So right now, we get buy and bill based on what you're sick with. In our country right now, what we're trying to move towards is value-added medicine by doing more remote monitoring. In our case, the teams that are most excited about it are where the highest incidence rates of concussions are. These take place on helmeted athletes, and in the military. There's a lot of issues in the military right now with concussion detection, brain injury detection. We saw that most recently on the battlefields in Iraq, where missiles came down and there was a paper and pencil exercise to understand if people on the base actually had injury, rather than having a more technically automated system to parse up the data and allow a caregiver to look at it.
Fascinating. So in essence, it's getting ahead of it, and say something happens, like in this Iraq situation, you could then apply it afterwards to better understand if there has been a concussion or that type of event.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I guess I'll answer it by looking at it slightly differently. Right now, brain trauma, you can't see brain trauma. It's covered in a skull, you're not bleeding or anything along those lines. And so what winds up happening is almost 80% of sports-related concussions, which we know are being missed entirely. So our idea is to be an early warning system to say you need to get checked out. Go to your nearest healthcare provider. So much like a fire alarm's going to go off. Do you stop there, or do you call in a squad to put out the rest of the fire? It's exactly the way that we're thinking about it, just an early warning system so that people engage with their care team earlier in the process.
Harald, what is it that inspires your work in this business, and in particular this niche?
Oh my goodness. So I've spent my entire career again in the life sciences. As for this, what it really does is blend two passions of mine. Huge sport fan. I coach youth sports. I've had to coach teams on how to manage concussion identification. I probably had a few, honestly, along the way that I shook off and kept going as an athlete in my younger years. And just spending time. I love to solve big problems, and this is a big problem. Nobody is addressing this right now. We've got sideline solutions. We've got solutions in emergency rooms, we've got solutions in hospitals, but we really don't have an early warning system, which is what this is designed to be.
Love it. Harald, as you think about what the audience at home and at work are thinking about, what would be your call to action to them as it relates to your business and how you guys are adding value? And what would be the best place for them to learn more about you and the business?
Sure. So the call to action is stay tuned. I get calls and emails from parents, largely parents, that said, I want something. I want to send my kid out on the athletic field. They want to play hockey. They want to play a team sport where there's some contact. They want it faster than I can deliver it simply because it needs to go through a regulatory approval system. As for where you can find more, if you can reach out to www.NoMoDX.com, which is our website, and there's some more information there as well as the contact information for myself.
Fantastic. Really appreciate the insights you've shared with us today, and wishing you the best of luck.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm just going to, you can hold the helmet, yeah, so I can see those sensors.
Yeah.
Right